Welcome back, everyone here to Bronx Talks. Today we're going to be talking about the Yankees, obviously. We got a lot to talk about. The Yankees just completed a series against the Baltimore Orioles. They lost two out of three, and once again, the back end of the rotation was not good. Will Warren and Carlos Carrasco, I think they both went three and a third innings. They just didn't have it. We're going to be talking about the Yankees rotation. We're going to be talking about Anthony Volpe. Going to be talking about a lot of things here today. But yeah, Yankees lose two out of three against the Orioles. Orioles were in last place. You don't want to do that. You don't want to lose a series to a struggling Orioles team. Give them confidence. You don't want them to go on a run. Unfortunately, the Yankees did lose the series. The offense once again looked fantastic. The second game of the series was just unbelievable. 15 runs. The Yankees went back to back to back for the second time this year. That's the first time in Major League Baseball history. The Yankees are the only team for a team to go back to back to back in a game to start a game. Sorry, but the Yankees are the first team in Major League Baseball history to do that. And Yankees made a roster move today. They picked up Brian De La Cruz off waivers from the Braves. He hit 21 home runs last year with the Marlins and the Pirates. He was with Atlanta this season, batting 191, 453 OPS in just 47 at bats. And the Yankees optioned him to AAA. And then they moved Giancarlo Stanton to the 60-day injured list. So that was the roster move for the Yankees today. But Christian, how are you doing today? How was the series? What'd you pick up on? And yeah, anything you'd like to add there?
The series was like it's kind of been all season. The Yankees are playing pretty well. Obviously, they're atop the East, and it, I don't know. It didn't even feel like we really lost the series because obviously the game we won, we played phenomenal. The offense was great, and then the Yanks were kind of in both games. But obviously, losing a series to the Orioles, that's not great. I think the Yankees are in a good spot. Obviously, you look at the two losses and you could just pin it directly on the starting pitching, Carrasco and Will Warren. So, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But, overall, I feel like you're feeling pretty good if you're a Yankees fan right now because I don't think we've really seen the best. I think offensively, we've seen the best of this team, but bullpen wise, even though it's been good, keep in mind we haven't seen one of the best relievers in baseball uh, pitch to what he's supposed to be. He's been one of the worst relievers in baseball. So I know the bullpen, aside from that's been pretty good. And then obviously the starting rotation's been pretty up and down. So overall, feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. If someone was going to tell us, "Hey, after April the Yankees be in first place," we all would have taken that. The Yankees are 18 and 13 right now. They have a 1.5 game lead over the Boston Red Sox for first place in the division. And yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I don't think we've seen the best from the Yankees. I think the offense, though, has looked fantastic. I think it could get even better. Obviously, when Giancarlo Stanton gets back, the Yankees still waiting on Luis Heel. That will help the rotation. And Jake Cousins, Johnny Lasagna in the bullpen. That should help as well. But if you look at this Yankees team, and we titled the video basically this, the Yankees look good, but there definitely is some weaknesses and areas they could upgrade in. And I think the first thing you have to look at, Christian, is the rotation, right? So Carlos Rodon and Max Fried especially, they both have been amazing. Max Fried is a 1.19 ERA. He's 5 and 0. The Yankees have won all 6 of the games he's pitched in. And then Rodon, 3.43 ERA. He got off to a good start and then had a few starts where he was in a rut there, but he seemed to turn it around. But Clark Schmidt, we just got him back. He's pitching to a 5.52 ERA, and he's still waiting to find his groove. He's only made 3 starts. Not worried about him. He looks solid against the Blue Jays, just trying to build him up, get him length. But really, the back end of the rotation has just been horrible. Carlos Carrasco, an ERA of 5.90 Will Warren 5.63. They've been terrible. Marcus Stroman as well. He's been horrible, an ERA of 11.57. Aaron Boone said this past Monday that Stroman's still dealing with some discomfort in his left knee. He's been out a couple weeks now, and he began light throwing mid-April or so, but the soreness is still there. We don't know if there's when he's going to be back. There's no timeline yet. So he's probably a few weeks away from returning. I don't even know if the Yankees necessarily want him back because he's been so bad. But yeah, it's hard to win games, and it's going to be hard to win a series when you have Will Warren and Carlos Carrasco going on the mound because they're pitching back to back days, and they're just not doing it for the Yankees right now. Christian, I think you might be on I don't know. We can't get your audio over here.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, Christian
You
was on
should
mute for a little. We didn't hear you for like
you should
three
have said
minutes. No,
something.
I, I thought it was on my end at first. That's my fault.
No, I had my mic on mute. My mic.
Uh,
Did you hear any of that? Any of the thing I said about Rodon?
no, I didn't hear it.
I don't want to say. I'll summarize the whole thing in 30 seconds. Carlos Rodon has a sinker this year. He throws it 10% of the time. Last year, he did not have a sinker. Look at his ground ball percentage in 2024. 8th percentile. Look at it in 2025. 73rd percentile. And ground balls are good. And I know Yankee fans are probably sick of hearing that after the whole Clay Holmes thing last year. But, I mean, it's basic baseball. If you're keeping the ball on the ground, they're going to find fielders. You're going to get outs. You're going to get double plays. And I also think that that sinker helps his fastball so much because, when you just have one hard pitch in your fastball that you're throwing at hitters, it's kind of not easy to pick up on, but when they pick it up, so they only have to worry about the four seam fastball. But when you throw in a 92 mile an hour sinker, two seam, whatever you want to call it, that's breaking a little bit, and then you throw that fastball that can get up to 96, even 97, we've seen this season, it's even more effective. It has a little bit extra oomph on it. And then I really just think it all plays together. So essentially, I mean, you look at his metrics, you look at his stats this year. Obviously, the strikeouts are up significantly. he looks like such a complete picture, and I think it's just going to be sustainable for the season. I think he really found something, so I could not be more happy with Carlos Rodon. Sorry about the
Yeah,
muting.
and yeah, I'm sorry. That was my fault, Christian. I
It's all
should have
good.
said something. But anyway, yeah, Carlos Rodon has looked really good for the Yankees this season. And even when he was struggling, right? When he had that, three game rut where he was in where he was walking guys and then he was giving up the big home run and it was kind of inflating that ERA. It was making, things not look the best. He was still striking a lot of guys out. A lot of guys out. I think he's second in all of the American League in strikeouts. He's looked really, really solid. 52 strikeouts on the year. That's third in all of baseball behind Mackenzie Gore and Zach Wheeler, but that leads all of the American League. And opponents are hitting 154 against Carlos Rodon, too. 154 opponent batting average. So, yeah, he's looked really solid. You touched on the sinker there before. That could be a new thing for Carlos Rodon. His velocity is not what it once was, but he's starting to, at this point in his career, start to enter that stage where, look, you got to be aware of it. My velocity is not there. He's starting to morph more into a pitcher, and we're seeing that. And I wonder, Christian, over the next couple years, because the Yankees have Carlos Rodon under contract for a couple more years. I wonder if we're going to start to see like a totally different pitcher or someone who's completely morphed into someone else who's a little bit more crafty, more creative. I'm really excited to see that from Carlos Rodon because I feel like he's starting to become that this year. And so far, so good. He's looked really solid. And look, we said it in the offseason. We said it when Garrett Cole went down, Christian. The Yankees need Carlos Rodon. They need him to step up. I said in one of our lives or something before the season, I expect this to be Carlos Rodon's best season as a New York Yankee. And if the Yankees want to go far in October and they want to win a World Series, they need Carlos Rodon to be that number two. He is the number two guy in the rotation that's going to be taking the ball in a series right after Max Fried. Now, barring a big trade for a starting pitcher like a Sandy Alcantara or something like that, Carlos Rodon is the guy, and he needs to be that guy
Yeah.
for the Yankees. And the Yankees are also going to need to find out who's going to be that third guy, right? I mean, they have Luis Gil, who's a little bit ways away. They have Clark Schmidt. He's still trying to find his groove. But Christian, do you think right now, because the back end of the rotation has just been brutal, just
Yeah.
been really bad. Do you think it's too early to make a change and move on from a Carlos Carrasco or a Will Warren?
Well, who's the name that everyone's talking about right now? Cam.
Cam's what I don't know exactly how to say his last
It's with an S,
Skittler.
right?
Shit. I don't want to say
Yeah,
Hitler.
Shitler. I don't
Skittler.
know.
Yeah. Shitler.
Um, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
He
I don't, and I will defend Will Warren. I think he's going to be a solid pitcher in the big leagues. I just don't think he's ready yet. And I mean, we're kind of seeing that between uh command, obvious his base on balls per nine not great. His K rate actually is pretty solid, but he just doesn't seem fully developed. Uh
no.
so I don't blame the Yankees on giving him a shot. I wanted him to get a shot, but I really there's no harm. He has options. Send him down and give Cam a shot. Give someone else a shot. Clayton Beater's injured right now, right?
Yeah, he is injured. He's working his way back, so but I think it's still a little bit away until he gets back.
Yeah, I don't think it's great. It's not like we didn't go into the season saying, all right, Will Warren is in the rotation until Luis Gil comes back. No, I think I actually had as one of my hot takes that he was going to make 15 starts. Was that you?
I don't know.
I
I
think
don't
it might
know.
have been mine. But look, you don't have to go ride or die with this guy. Send him down, give him some more time in the minors, and we'll see him again next year at the end of the season. Uh,
Yeah.
and then other than that, I mean, you kind of just have to, I guess, ride out Carrasco for the time being.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if the Yankees would just want to get rid of a guy like Carrasco. And also, I don't know if that's the smartest thing to do because the Yankees are very short on starting pitching
Yeah.
depth. God forbid another injury. If another injury happens and Carrasco's gone, you or me is going to be taking the ball for the Yankees. So, I mean, that's just kind of what it is. You can't really get rid of Carrasco, but yeah, I mean, Will Warren is what the Yankees had to go to. I mean, he was the closest guy and the guy that was most ready when the Yankees had those rotation injuries to take the ball. And look, he wasn't even ready for the spot last year. He had a 10.32 ERA in 6 games last year, made 5 starts. And this year he just doesn't look good. He's obviously not ready. He wasn't ready last year. He wasn't ready this year. You say you still believe in him, Christian. I'm starting to have my concerns, have my doubts. He's 25 years old and he didn't even pitch well in the minor leagues last year. I think in Scranton he had an ERA of 5. I'd have to double check that. But he wasn't even good in AAA last year. So, look, Will Warren, big prospect. We know he has the talent, but sooner or later you got to put something together. And the thing that concerns me with Will Warren is we haven't really seen like any signs of it. Like he got his first career major league win. That was nice, but I've never seen Will Warren go out on the mound and like show some sort of dominance. We haven't seen that yet from him. So, look, interesting to see what happens with Will Warren, but he could be a guy if the Yankees were to make a change. It could be real simple like a layup and just send him down. So the
Five
Yankees
five
could do.
nine ERA last year in 2024. I think the thing with him that people get obviously, so 2023 really solid season. I think that's when he started to get the hype, like 3.35 ERA across AAA and Double A. So, and then also, I mean, the strikeout rates are good. Even in the big leagues, the strikeout rates are good, and people care about that. But ultimately, you have to put it together as a pitcher. So we'll see. I just think it's a little too early to give up. He's 26, but I mean, hey, we didn't see Aaron Judge for a while, so
Yeah.
I'm not comparing Will Warren to the Aaron Judge of pitching, but I just give him time. And if
Yeah.
not, then I guess he was a first round draft pick, right?
Will Warren, I'm not sure when the Yankees drafted him.
Oh no no
I'm
no no,
not.
eighth round. So look, if this guy doesn't turn out, then so what?
Yeah.
There's no reason the Yankees should be putting so much stock into him. Just send him back down, see if he can figure something out. I think that's
Yeah. I mean,
bottom line.
I think the thing is too. I mean, Cam Skittler. I'm sorry if I'm saying his name wrong. I really apologize. He looks solid in spring training, and this year in Double A, he's dominating. He's pitching to an ERA of 1.23, 3 starts over 4 games. Been in 4 games this year. He's the Yankees' number 10 prospect. He's not on the 40 man, so you'd have to make some maneuvering there. And he starts tonight, Christian, against Richmond for the Somerset Patriots. Double A to the major leagues is a big level. I don't know if he could be much worse than Carlos Carrasco or Will Warren. I'd actually be surprised if he is. So, look, his ETA is 2026, but like, why not maybe give this kid a chance, send Will Warren down, and, give this guy a few starts. Marcus Stroman's not going to be back for a few more weeks. Give this kid some starts, stuff like that. And I don't know where the Yankees would send him after that. So I think that's like the interesting thing. Would you option him back down to Double A? Would you move him back up to Triple A? Or the Yankees looking at it like, look, this guy's the next man up. God forbid something happens to another starter. This kid is getting the chance. Should we let him, sit in the minors and develop a little bit more? And then, we need him, let's say June, July, we give him the call. Maybe the Yankees could be looking at it that. There's a lot of different ways you could look at it, but it's not like this kid's like 20 years old. He's 24. That's a year younger than Will Warren, who's 25. So maybe it's something the Yankees do go to. Another name the Yankees could possibly go to, and this guy is on the 40-man roster, is Alan Winans, who in 4 games, 3 of them being starts, has yet to give up a run, Christian, in 14 innings with the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. He also has struck out. Get this, Christian. You want to know how many strikeouts he has? 24 strikeouts in 14 innings. He had a game a week ago where he
Who is
struck
this?
out the
Alan Winans?
yeah. He had a game, Christian, a week ago. Get this, where he struck out 10 of the first 11 batters.
Wow.
Pretty eye-opening stuff. He was actually called up, if you guys remember the name. He was called up right after Stroman got injured against the series against the Giants. He didn't pitch though in that series. But look, he's made 3 starts already this season. Is he a guy the Yankees go to? I think he's a career minor leaguer. Get his age up right now, but I think
He's
last year
29.
29 years old. Last year he pitched 2 games for the Braves. Like right-hand starter. Maybe he's someone the Yankees could go to. Was drafted in the 17th round, pick number 500 by the New York Mets in 2018. But maybe he's a guy the Yankees could go to. I mean, no runs in 14 innings. You got to like that. So I think he could be an option. And the thing with him is he's on the 40 man. So you could option Will Warren and call him up. So I mean, it really works out. I would give Will Warren a couple more starts. I would give him a couple more starts. We'd give, Alan Wynez a couple more starts in Scranton because, 14 innings isn't that many. You give him a couple more starts. He continues his dominance, striking out a ton of batters. And then Will Warren's just, throwing batting practice. Maybe that is a move you could go to. I certainly think it makes sense. I mean, look, I get the Yankees rotation is thin right now, but I do think that either one of these guys with Cam Schittler and Alan Winans, I think both of them could be potential options for the Yankees. It's also going to be interesting to see what they do when Stroman's back, right? They have Luis Heel working his way back, and Luis Heel's going to really help this staff because he throws hard, has an upper 90s fastball. The Yankees don't have really anyone on the staff who could do that. So that's going to be big for the Yankees. Not too worried about the bullpen. I am worried about the bullpen towards the end of the season, though, Christian, because the Yankees have to they've been going to the bullpen a lot early on this year because the back end of the rotation is giving them no length. You don't want to burn out that bullpen. You don't want to burn out any arms. So I am a little bit concerned about that. That's something to keep an eye on. The good news, I think, is with the Yankees, though, they do have a lot of different relievers. I think they have a lot of depth in that department. But yeah, I mean, that's it on the rotation. Couple
I
other
have some
guys.
pronunciation. Be
Thank you.
Bob
Pronunciate.
Lorenz. Bob Lorenz pronounce it as Schlittler. Or I have to listen to it again.
Skittler.
Cam Schlittler.
Schlittler.
Schlittler. Schlittler.
Schlittler. And
That's gonna be
Winans.
call him up. I wanna practice his name more. Call him up. I want to hear how Michael K says it. I will say
Yeah.
the one thing about Cam though. So it looks like he got 1 start in Double A or in Triple A last year, and went an inning and 2/3 and gave up 4 runs. So I don't know if you go and bring him straight from Double A to MLB. I
Yeah.
don't know if that would make sense.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just think like right now, I'm thinking, I don't know. It's an option. I think Winans could be an option, but I mean, look, it is May 1st. I get you don't want to necessarily maybe give up on a guy like Will Warren, see if he could turn it around. And if he could, that'd be huge for your team. So I think I think definitely what the Yankees are going to do is they're going to give both Carrasco and Warren some length. But look, I mean, if we're doing this video a month later and Carrasco and Will Warren continue to just get shelled every time out, at that point, that's a whole nother month and another 5 starts. At
Yeah.
that point, you got to do something. But for right now, I think they're going to try to see if Will Warren could figure it out. But yeah, there is some question marks there with Will Warren. And look, Carlos Carrasco, what is he, 38 years old now? I just don't know if he has it anymore, man. I mean, the thing with Carrasco is, you just got to tell him to keep you in the game. I just don't think he has it anymore, man. I think this could be it for Carlos Carrasco. But yeah, the Yankees rotation is going to be a complex one. It's going to
Yeah,
be a
and they're
complex
they're
one.
also like it's fine now because the offense is doing such a good job and they're still going to win games, but like long term, as you kind of mentioned, they could just be screwing over the bullpen with some of these guys, Warren and Carrasco, just giving you 4 innings every start. It just doesn't work. So
No,
it's just
no.
too much on the bullpen, especially the
And
back end.
Christian, another thing I've noticed with Aaron Boone too is like even if a guy like Carrasco or Will Warren is pitching like well or decent, Boone will never throw them out for like the sixth inning. Like we've seen Carrasco a couple times pitch like 5 solid innings, and Boone won't even touch him for the sixth because at the end of the day, it's Carlos Carrasco and Will
He's not
Warren.
good. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Boone does not want to get killed if those guys go out, face the lineup the third time, and they just have a huge blowout inning because every Yankee fan would be screaming and losing their mind. So it's not even like that's even on the table. Like it's like, hey, give us five, you're going five max, and just do the best you can. And that's kind of what it's been. And a lot of times they can't even get through 5 innings. I mean, the
yeah,
series against the Orioles, both of them pitched and the Yankees lost the series. When they're pitching back to back days, it's tough because you're asking the offense, the Yankees offense, as good as it's been, to put up big numbers back to back days. It's hard. The good news is the Yankees are going to get a breath of fresh air on Friday, tomorrow, with Max Fried taking the ball. But we'll talk about that later on when we preview that series. Christian, that's that on the starting rotation. I mean, some other arms that are in the bullpen in the minor leagues that are having some solid years. Don't necessarily see them starting as Eric Raiselman and Wilking Rodriguez. Both have looked good. Wilking Rodriguez, I think 9 innings this year, 1.83 ERA for Scranton, 35-year-old veteran. And then Raiselman, we talked about him. We think he's going to get called up this year for the Yankees, but he's looked really solid as well. But both those guys pitching out of the bullpen. But speaking of the bullpen, Devin Williams was moved out of the closer role, and he looked good. He looked good.
uh,
His 2 appearances that he had against the O's, he had a 1-2-3 inning in his first appearance. Last time out, he walked one, but hasn't given up any hits through the 2 outings. But it's just 2 games. Christian, what are your thoughts on moving Devin Williams out of the closer role? Do you think Devin Williams will turn it around?
uh, mm, no, I don't. I want him to.
Wow.
I'm genuinely concerned, and I think a lot of Yankee fans, especially the patient ones, they're saying, "Oh, just give him time," and I understand that. Like, there's nothing we can really do as fans. I don't love the whole booing thing, but I get it. I mean, that's what happens when you keep blowing leads. But I don't know. I'm concerned. The metrics are terrible this year, so it's not like you can look at that and be like, "Oh, he's getting unlucky." I look at his injury last year, and I know it was in the first half, and then he came back and he was great. But I genuinely wonder if that has any impact on. I mean, he said he doesn't feel 100% like himself. I don't know if he was necessarily specifically referencing his injury. I think it was his rib cage, but I just don't. I don't really know what's wrong. That's why I kind of resort to the fact that it could be the same thing bothering him that was bothering him at the beginning of last year. I know he's been bad in April, but he's never been this bad. So it's concerning. I mean, he had to get taken out of the closer role. That was the right move. And
Yeah.
maybe he'll do a little bit better in these lower leverage situations, but I mean, I think you're lying to yourself if you're saying you're not very concerned about this guy cuz what signs has he shown that he's going to turn it around? Like I forget about the two scoreless innings that he showed us
Yeah.
in Baltimore. That means nothing to me right now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing I could tell you that would tell me that is his career numbers. I mean, coming into this year, had a career ERA under 2. That's really the only thing you can hang your hat on, but it's certainly something to hang your hat on because that's those numbers aren't anything to sneeze at. I mean, this guy is a really, really good pitcher. I heard people saying over last weekend when Devin Williams blew the save. Like some people were saying, like it was interesting that the Yankees got him for so little, and that all us Yankee fans were praising Brian Cashman because he traded Caleb Durbin and Nestor Cortez to get and everyone was finding that to be great on Cashman's part. But some people were talking over the weekend and saying like, "Huh, maybe Milwaukee knew something that the Yankees didn't. Maybe they knew he was gonna, have a bad year, or maybe they knew he wasn't completely healthy, right?" It's something to think
Yeah.
about, and he hasn't pitched well for the Yankees at all, and you kind of thinking about that now. Hey, maybe why did the Yankees get him for so little? Look, his numbers, his underlying metrics don't look good. I think the bottom line is the most concerning thing is his body language. I mean, when it's going wrong for Devin Williams, he looks miserable. I mean, absolutely miserable out there on the mound. It's not like what you want to see, especially from a guy with a track record and resume as good as his. He should not be that defeated out there on the mound. And I'm not bashing the guy necessarily. I mean, look, everyone's going to get emotional. You know, you're going to go out there and get smacked around. I don't want you to be like, smiling on the mound, but to look as bad as he has with his body language and have that track record, that is very concerning. That is very concerning to me. Look, maybe like people are saying, maybe he's one of those guys that's not built for New York. I'm not going to say that about a guy after a month of big league games, especially with how good he's been in his career. But it is starting to get concerning, and I think it's just two polar opposites with him and Luke Weaver. And this might sound a little Captain Obvious, Christian, but like Devin Williams looks like he's not built for the closer role. Like not just his numbers, but like his body language. He
Yeah, I
just
agree.
doesn't look good. And then Luke Weaver looks like he's built for the closer role for the New York Yankees. He has that fierce, like, eye of the tiger. He's staring at batters. He's dialed in. He's locked in. Like that game against Cleveland where the Yankees were up 5-1, but the Cleveland Guardians hit 3 warning track fly balls to end the game. Luke Weaver was out there on the mound after the game and he was like, "What the F?" And he was like sighing a big relief. Like he's just focusing on every minute detail. And they're just polar opposites right now. And I give the Yankees credit for doing the right thing and making that move because, look, Devin Williams' body language is so bad. You don't want to just keep beating on the guy. And Luke Weaver looked like he was ready for it. And he did it last year. He did it in the postseason. So Luke Weaver was ready for it. It was a solid move. They went to it. Maybe they didn't go to it last year because Luke Weaver hadn't really done that before. But they went last year with Clay Holmes for way, way too long.
Yes.
And I don't want this to be another closer catastrophe. I think Yankee fans can't handle that anymore, Christian. We saw it. Aroldis Chapman was solid when he first came to the Yankees, but he after like 2019 on, once Altuve hit that home run, Chapman was just never the same. I mean, he gave up a big home run a year later to Brasso in against the Rays in 2020. He was never the same after that. And we dealt with Chapman for a long time. He completely screwed over the Yankees the 2022 playoffs because he had a horrible year and then threw a fit because Boone told him, "Hey, you might not be on the roster." And then he went back to his house in Miami. Guy is such a loser. I heard him talking stuff too about how he can't wait to close out a game in Yankee Stadium for the Red Sox. He's a stupid loser. I don't like Aroldis Chapman. And then the we had Clay Holmes, who looked good, who looked solid, but then when he took the Rose closer role, Christian, I mean, it was just he had some really good moments. He made 2 All-Star teams with the Yankees, but I mean, we obviously know what happened. He was nicknamed Cardiac Clay. So, yeah, it's unfortunate to see. I thought yesterday was a big sign. Wasn't a low leverage spot yesterday. Came in on a 1-run game. Yankees were down a run. He came in. He did a good job there. So look, I mean, that's just how you got to do it. And if I'm Devin Williams, my mindset is just keep on building innings. Whenever Boone tells me to come in, mindset's just got to be throw scoreless inning. Forget the score. Forget what's going on. Go out there, throw scoreless inning, and you do that for 4, 5, 6 games. We're looking at 7, 8 innings here. You haven't given up a run. Then the conversation could start to change. And I wonder, Christian, this is another question that no one's really talking about. What is the leeway? So if Devin Williams goes out there and throws 5 more shutout innings, that's 7 scoreless innings. Does Boone just put him back in the closer spot? Like, what if Luke
No,
Weaver goes out this weekend and just what if he goes out this weekend, Luke Weaver picks up 2 saves? At what point do you think it becomes a conversation again to go back to Devin Williams? Because I think at this point he is the set in Yankees closer, and it is early on in the season. At what point do you think that becomes a conversation?
I don't think you go back to Devin Williams as the closer. Luke Weaver should be the closer for the rest of the year. I mean, going into this season, I think that's how it should have been, just mixing and matching. Like, I get Luke Weaver kind of came out of nowhere, but he's proved himself. He's a legit relief pitcher, and he dominates. So there should not be a question. Also, if Devin Williams starts pitching better, then great. Just keep him at the setup role. If not, then it's going to be the same thing. He stays at the setup role. But what would be the worst case scenario is he starts pitching better, you move him back into the closer role, and he goes into another funk. So
Yeah,
I think that really just shouldn't
good
even be
point.
a conversation. And, if there's one thing, like if I could sit down with Devin Williams right now, I would just tell him to stop walking batters. And I think it's kind of like he's in a similar situation to Carlos Rodon. I don't think his stuff's as effective this year, and the metrics prove it. But you look at the one thing, he's been a great pitcher his entire career, but look at the one thing that he's always struggled with, walks, right? He's always been terrible with walks. And this year it's no different, in the 4th percentile again. Just stop walking guys as much. And I know he's been great his entire career and he's always been terrible with the walks, but guess what? You're a different pitcher this year. Just stop putting free batters on base. I think that's honestly the first step. If he was pitching great, I wouldn't do whatever you want, walk the bases loaded, and then strike out everyone. But he's not. So I think honestly that's the first step. And then, I mean, I guess just try and figure out your pitch mix. But there's really, really not a lot of signs that point to this guy is who he once was. And I don't know if that's really the pressure in New York. I think the one kind of unfair thing is that he gets pinned with the why the Yankees added Beards. Like, no, he wasn't the sole reason why that got lifted. But yeah, I mean, it's been pretty bad. And I guess, yeah, I would have Weaver pitching in our closer role the rest of the year. I just don't think you have to mess that up.
Yeah, I mean, that's a take right there. I mean, look, I totally understand that because Luke Weaver, he's lived up to all expectations with the Yankees. He's way, way exceeded all expectations. And it's not like Luke Weaver's unproven. Like, he was dominant last year in the postseason. Yankees were calling this guy every other day to get a 4-out save last year in the playoffs. He was dominant. Got the Yankees the World Series. So look, I mean, Devin Williams hasn't done that. Luke Weaver has. So if Luke Weaver can get big timeouts in the playoffs for the Yankees, I'm not concerned about him getting big timeouts in the regular season.
Yeah.
Even though Devin Williams has the better career track record, Devin Williams not looking good right now for the Yankees. So there's that. Interesting to see what happens there, but I will be paying close attention to Devin Williams. But I think the thing for him is just keep on going out there, throwing scoreless innings. Maybe it works out, like you said, Christian. Maybe the Yankees just keep Luke Weaver in that role, and Devin Williams figures it out in his role, and maybe the Yankees just stick with it. I don't know. I think they're paying Devin Williams like $9 million, but I mean, if you're winning games, it doesn't. doesn't necessarily matter. And Luke Weaver, for the contract he's on and the pitcher the Yankees have gotten, I mean, oh my God.
Yeah.
I think Judge should just be like, here, Judge making 40 million. Look, here's 500,000. Everyone should chip in for Luke Weaver. Everyone should do every out Luke Weaver gets should be like $1,000 every player on the team gives them.
Start
You
a
know what
little
I mean?
GoFundMe or something. I mean
Yeah,
that.
Luke Weaver GoFundMe. Actually, I don't want to be saying that too much though, because I want the Yankees to bring him back in another affordable deal. But so we'll keep that quiet. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Devin Williams, but I don't know. Two outings this week. Hey, Christian, I know you said that you're not impressed with the two scoreless outings. I'll say this: at least he didn't blow up again in the two outings, because that would be a whole nother conversation. And Devin Williams trying to win the fan base back. So there's people complaining too. And the last thing we'll say on Devin Williams before we move on, there's people complaining too about like stop saying the "We Want Weaver" chants or stop booing him. I mean, this is the nature of the
He's
beast.
gonna
I
get
mean,
booed.
this
Yeah.
this is the Bronx here. All right. Aaron Boone doesn't run from it. He says, yeah, like Aaron Boone has basically said, he said, like, yeah, like it's not ideal, but it's better to be booed. And that shows that fans actually care than play in a place where the fans, don't really care. Right. Something like that.
Speaking of that, Tampa Bay raised tickets were $1 today.
$1 today at GMS.
Yeah.
Christian, why didn't you go to the game?
Uh, I just I would be bored out of my mind watching a Rays Royals game. Came out to
Oh,
like
Rays
$8
Royals.
after tax and stuff. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that's lame. That's a lame. Rays Royals.
Yeah, when the Yankees came to town, I think the cheapest ticket you could find that wasn't standing room was over $100. So
Yeah.
that I feel like that kind of sums up why we boo our players. There's a different standard than that the Yankees hold than other teams. All
Yeah.
right, Ryan, I have a question.
What's the question?
Uh, how many days until Anthony Volpe goes in another slump? And I hate to frame the question that way, but I feel like a fool if I start to glaze this guy and talk about how great he's been when he has been great this year.
Yeah.
Like he has a 780 OPS and he's playing. Actually, his defense has been a little iffy, but he's still a great defender overall. But I mean, like, I just feel like it's stupid to get fooled again. We've seen this for the past 3 years now, where it's just he gets hot, and it's like, oh my God, just do this all the time. Just
Yeah.
go the other way, hit gap to gap, and then he just doesn't.
Yeah. I don't know. I wonder if it's just like a completely approach thing. I mean, look, it sounds stupid to think that he gets hot and then thinks he's like a power hitter and then just tries to hit home runs, because you think a guy like Anthony Volpe in a big leaguer wouldn't that wouldn't happen to him every
Yeah.
single time. But it does actually seem that way. Like it seems like he gets a gap to gap hitter and maybe he gets like too high on himself or something like that. And he just tries to completely change up his approach, because then you'll just see a ton of strikeouts. The contact will completely be gone and he'll just be swinging for the fences. And people have said it. I mean, I'm going to say it again. Anthony Volpe is not a home run hitter. He's not. He needs to be a guy that's a gap to gap guy. And we'll just tell you, through his last 10 games, he's in one of the Anthony Volpe extremely hot stretches again. He's batting .316 with 12 hits, a home run, 4 RBIs, and 5 runs scored in his last 10 games. He has 7 extra base hits in that stretch. Anthony Volpe is at his best when he's going to right field. And also, when Anthony Volpe is at his best, we see him fouling off a lot of pitches. He seems much more dialed and much more in tune with the at bat. When Anthony Volpe's going cold, he's swinging at sliders way out in the dirt, and he's just swinging really hard and trying to hit home runs. The home runs are going to come, right? Like the home runs are going to come. Anthony Volpe does have power. I mean, he hit 21 home runs his rookie season. He does have power. The home runs are going to come, but when he goes up to the plate, his approach should not be trying to hit a home run. And I don't want to speak for the guy because, maybe that's not his approach and who knows, but it is just very, very weird to see how night and day he is. And we've seen streaky hitters in baseball, but to see someone this streaky is pretty crazy. I mean, it is night and day. There's no middle ground with him.
Yeah.
He is either he can't make contact with the ball, he can't get a hit, or every time you look up, the ball's flying in the gap, bouncing off the right field wall, and he's jogging in there to second base. There's just no balance there with Anthony Volpe, and we know his glove has been exceptional, right? But he has to find consistency. And Anthony Volpe has a lot of speed. We want Anthony Volpe to get on base and try to steal bags and create havoc on the base paths. That's what I think he should, try to do. So we'll see if this approach, we'll see if this hot streak, maybe finally
How
gets
many
through.
times have we said that? I
I
mean,
exactly, Christian. But
that's
what
why
if
it's
I
not
sp-
even worth the talking about. Like maybe we just say he's having a great year, and that's it. Like
Yeah, well, the
also
thing is,
look at where most of his home runs are this year.
wow.
He has three right to right field, and then he had two that he pulled, and then majority of his hits up the middle and to the right. So it's frustrating.
Yeah.
But he's been good. So I at the same time like I
Yeah.
really I don't even know how to describe it.
Hey, and Anthony Volpe was good in the postseason last year for the Yankees. A lot of people don't give him enough credit. I mean, they just think about that grand slam, blah blah
Yeah.
blah blah, that he had in the World Series, which was actually a sick moment. I saw something on MLB Shop today, Christian, because I'm always looking for memorabilia. Anthony Volpe autographed World Series grand slam. Oh, it was the coolest thing ever. Absolutely coolest thing ever. But yeah. So, like we said, when Anthony Volpe's going to right field, he's at his best. But we've been doing this for so long. At what point is it going to change? Like, is he going to? I don't know. Like, I just don't know what his approach is because he just seems like a totally different hitter sometimes. But last season in the postseason, I think he hit like 270. He was solid. And if he's going to be a streaky player like this, and that's just what it's going to be, Yankees got to figure out how to get him hot when the playoffs come. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think
I
too,
would say
like,
I would say the big because I mean you if his metrics are pretty good. I would just say focus on cutting down the strikeouts. I know it's cliche, but
yeah,
like I just think it would help him stay more consistent. And I know
yeah,
it's not really like
hit the
obviously
ball up
cutting
the
down
middle.
on the strikeouts is everyone's goal, but like I don't know if that's a simpler approach or whatever, but that's when we see him go in funks. So
Hey, I know Anthony Volpe is a big Jeter guy. I mean, the biggest Jeter guy. Absolutely adored Jeter growing up. We're the New York Yankees. We know Jeter. Can we get Jeter on the phone this offseason? We'll say, hey, Anthony Volpe, Anthony, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, so you're gonna spend the next 3 weeks here in the offseason with Derek Jeter. Can we do that? Can Derek Jeter give Anthony Volpe like a 3 week course? Because honestly, I think that could fix everything. It's his childhood idol. He's gonna listen. He's gonna pay attention to Jeter. Jeter and Volpe get together, and then we'll just see Volpe just smacking balls, base hits to right field. I think Anthony Volpe needs Derek Jeter. Can we actually get Derek Jeter to help
well,
Anthony Volpe?
I I I think he's a different hitter than Jeter. Like I think Anthony Volpe has potential to be more powerful than him,
Yes.
and I
Yes,
also
more power, but
so I don't know. Like I just like it's hard to say like all right, just go beat Derek Jeter. I, I don't really know.
I just think like Jeter, he was so good, like the inside out swing going to right field. I feel like that's just like Volpe's approach. And it was the same thing we used to talk about with Glaber Torres. Like when he's at his best, he's going to right field. And then I mean Glaber Torres and Anthony Volpe, like there is some similarities, I think, like in the way what's the word I'm looking for? In how streaky they are. Because it would just be the same thing. I
Well,
feel like
I
when
wonder if part of that maybe maybe it's not Volpe. Maybe it's how he's getting pitched. Maybe he goes through that, and I wonder if there's stats to back this up. But maybe he goes through that approach where he's punching everything to right field, and then pitchers just start pounding him in, and then he just can't
Yeah,
catch up to the fastball on that, and so on and so forth. So I don't really know. It's kind of a tough
yeah.
one. But look, he's having a great year, so I don't just
Yeah,
keep it up, I
I
guess.
love Volpe. I love Volpe. And how about Volpe yesterday? I love Volpe. He's such a cool. He's the kid. Everyone calls him Ken Griffey Jr., not the kid. Kid is Anthony Volpe. He's the boy. Love me some Anthony Volpe. He's having fun out there on the mound. I'm not on the mound, on the field. And look, grew up a diehard Yankee fan, went to the 2009 Yankees World Series parade, and he's playing shortstop for the New York Yankees. That's what I want to do. I'm living my dream through Anthony Volpe. It's absolutely electric to see. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with Anthony Volpe, but he's definitely been solid this year for the Yankees. He's definitely a fun guy to watch play. And yesterday, we got to touch on this, Christian, just for a couple minutes with the what's the name, Hurston Kerstead guy. Anyway, long story short, he got hit in the head by a Clay Holmes fastball last year because of course he did. The bench is cleared. Brandon Hyde, who I think is a terrible manager, was getting into it with the Yankees, whole big thing, and then Pablo Reyes yesterday goes up to jump and catch the ball when Kerstead was stealing, falls on Kerstead's head, and Kerstead threw a fit. Like, what is Pablo Reyes supposed to do? Let the ball go in center
Yeah,
field?
that
It's
was so
it's his
stupid.
job. And Volpe's like, bro, like what? Because everyone's like, Volpe's the kid, like he's the guy, he's the nice guy. But Volpe's not. Volpe's not afraid to go. Pat Miguel Garcia from the Royals on the back in the ALDS. He's not afraid to say, Kerstead, what the hell you want him to do? That's that New Jersey energy. You know what I mean? That's that
You
New
definitely
Jersey
saw a little
aggression.
bit of Jersey in him there.
Yeah, you
Just
got
like,
that.
what are you doing, man? I mean, come on. What do you want?
Yeah, Del
That
Boston's
that was
strong.
exactly like when last year when the Orioles, the whole benches clearing thing, um, that you just talked about, when it was like kind of over nothing, and the narrative was, oh, is it Brendan Hyde?
Brandon, it might be Brendan Hyde. I thought it was Brandon Hyde. Could be wrong on that.
Whatever. And the narrative was that he was like, just trying to fire his guys up. I agree with you. I think that's pretty stupid logic, especially for like a
Yeah,
young team. I
I
don't.
Orioles fan. I know Orioles fans hate him, and I got to be honest. From the outside looking in, I got to be honest. I mean, I'm not going to say I hate the guy, but like, I don't think he's a good manager. I mean, he's just not. I mean, you have a young, really talented team. Last two times in the playoffs, they've been swept. It's been swept, and now
Yeah.
they're getting off to an awful start this year. If the Orioles continue to struggle, look out for him to be fired because that's just not cutting. I need more out of you. So, look, I get it's a manager, managers in baseball. Who knows really how much they um, have power in today's game. It'd be nice to see exactly how much. Maybe it's different for everyone, but look, he'd be a guy I might think to get rid of if I'm the Orioles. But that's just me. And yeah, touch final things on Volpe, just needs to be a gap to gap guy. He's
Yeah.
very, very streaky. And look, it's like the stock market. When it's up, it's a great time. And when it's down, it's not. But right now, it's up. So that's good. We're making more money, which means we're winning more games. That's how I'm putting it with Anthony Volpe. But yeah, he's been solid for the Yankees. And we're going to shift gears here a little bit, Christian. We got to talk about Aaron Judge. I mean, we have to
Yeah.
talk
Quit.
about
We'll
Aaron Judge.
do 3-ish minutes of just glazing Aaron Judge.
3 minutes of glazing Aaron Judge. Everyone at home, get your stopwatch ready. Here we go. Aaron Judge, Christian. He's batting 427 right now. Is my computer telling me, do I have the right date on my calendar on my computer? It says Thursday, May 1st. Are you sure it's not April 5th? Are you sure? Are you sure? It says May 1st right now on my computer, and Aaron Judge is batting 427. Incredible. Hit 322 last year. He has 10 home runs. He's tied for the major league lead. He's leading Major League Baseball in almost every single offensive category. I'll pull it up for you in a second. But look, he's just been fantastic. And Christian, I wanted to ask you because Aaron Judge is hitting 427.
Yeah.
What do you think his batting average will be this season? What batting average do you think he will finish with? Be-
I didn't doubt him at the beginning of the year, and that's why I don't even want to doubt him now. Uh, it, it could be pretty close to 400, and I mean over 400 is like nearly impossible. It's Aaron Judge. He's having one of the greatest runs of all time. Uh, just don't count it out. Obviously, it's
yeah,
crazy. It's crazy, but uh, yeah, what he's doing so far is we've kind of like never ever seen it before, and I I would say I think it's gonna fall somewhere close to 400. I think it's gonna be high 300s.
yeah. No, I look, I'd have to agree with you. I think he could hit like 350, 360, even 370. And you might ask, whoa, 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 whoa. Ryan, Ryan, what are you talking about? I mean, it's baseball. He's going to struggle at some point. Guys, I'm not sure. If we, MLB posted a graphic yesterday 2024 first 31 games. This was today, I'm sorry. 2024 31 games. His first 31 games last year and his first 31 games this year. Last season, through his first 31 games, 207 batting average. This year, 427. Last year, 6 home runs. This year, 10 home runs. Last year, 18 RBIs. This year, 32. Last year, 340 on base percentage. This year, 521. Last year, 414 slugging. This year, 761 slugging. Last year, 754 OPS. This year, 1.282. Last year, he had one bad month, and the rest of the season, he was god level. He was hitting 207 for through his first 31 games last year. Christian, he hit
10 seconds, Ron.
322. He hit 322 last year. And through his first 31 games last year, he hit 207. So he didn't slow down. And I could see Aaron Judge not slowing down. If he doesn't slow down, we could be witnessing one of the greatest seasons ever. Do I think Aaron Judge is going to, you know, bat 400, be the next Ted Williams? Probably not. I mean, 400 is insane, but I have to agree with you, Christian. I could see him hitting 360, 370. I'm not lying with you. I think he could
Yeah,
do it.
it's definitely possible. I mean, we'll just continue to give him his props throughout the season. We know how good he is. It's it's insane. Uh, yeah. I guess okay.
Yeah.
One thing, and I don't want to talk about it this episode, but our next live, we're going to talk about it. Cody Bellinger, and I don't want to talk about it now. I'm going to give him another week or two, but if not, then we're having a serious conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're a month into the season.
Table
He
it,
had that
table it. Give him another week or two. We'll talk about him, and
table it. All right. You've
I
been
think that
warned.
might be all.
Well, quick series preview.
Oh, of course. Oh, the
Yeah.
Rays.
Oh, yeah, folks. Your, not your, the Tampa Bay Rays are coming back into the Bronx. And it's going to be a fun one. Friday night back in the Boogie Down Bronx. What other way would you want to spend your Friday night? What other way? There is no other way. The only way is Yankees baseball. Yankees Friday night in the Bronx. It's the trifecta. It's the greatest thing ever. Okay. And we got a fun matchup. We got Ryan Pepito against Max Fried, baby. Max Fried, 5-0, 1.19 ERA, 33 strikeouts. Yankees have won all 6 of his starts. We got Max Fried under the lights on the bump pitching against the Tampa Bay Rays. And Christian, it gets better. It gets better. Fasten your seatbelts, okay? Because it's Jazz Chisholm Jr. basketball jersey night. I mean, come on. Everyone's going to be getting a Jazz Chisholm basketball jersey. Maybe he'll play tomorrow. We know he's still nursing that. What was it? Flexor injuries,
I,
right flex.
I I'm not really sure. It seemed like a little bit of baloney, but
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe he'll be back for that, which will be awesome because Jazz is so much fun to watch play. And Warren, who's 1-1, pitching to a 5.63 ERA. Christian, I got to be honest with you. I need a series win here. We can't lose back-to-back series to division rivals. I need a series win here. We're at home. We got our ace on the mound on Friday. I think the Yankees need to take this series here. And I'm looking at it right here. So after sweeping the Brewers to open the series, to open the season, the Yankees went 1-2 versus the Diamondbacks, 2-1 versus the Pirates, 1-2 versus Tigers, 1-2 versus Giants, 3-0 versus Royals, 3-1 versus Rays, 1-2 against Guardians, 2-1 versus Blue Jays, 1-2 versus Orioles. So that's one, two, three, four, five. I think they've lost like 5 series they've lost. Something like that. Can't
Yeah.
lose another
It's been a
series.
lot of the midweek series. Yankees
Yeah.
are a weekend team. I like it.
So they got that sweep and they swept the Royals too and they almost won swept the Rays, but yeah, we got to start winning some more series, definitely. And I think we got to win this one here against the Rays.
I do have some
But
good
it
news,
should.
Ryan.
What we got news breaking right now?
Yes, we are going to see our first walk off this weekend.
Christian's putting it in. Christian, what if this happens? Jazz is on the bench tomorrow. And look, Boone says, look, you got to give him another day or so. He's just not ready. It's bottom of the ninth. Yankees send a pitch hitter to the plate. It's Jazz. Everyone's freaking out. They got their jerseys on. He goes out there, hits a walk-off bomb. Reading about it on the papers for the next 2 days. Jazz completely turns it around, puts up historic numbers, and we win the World Series. You never know. Could happen. That's why you got to tune in.
Yeah, that'd be cool. No, I think it's gonna be a fun series. I mean, the Yankees pretty much stomped all over the Rays last time. They should have. They honestly could have swept easily. Uh,
They
so
would
yeah,
have if we didn't blow a 4-run lead in the ninth.
thank you, Devin. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean that's pretty much it. Should be a lot to talk about, and next time we do it live. But also after that, Yankees 3 games against the Padres in the Bronx. I'll be at the game on Wednesday, so if you're planning to go to the game this Wednesday against the Padres, maybe you'll see me. But that's gonna be a fun series as well because Padres are a really good team. But all in all, should be a fun series this weekend. That's really all we got, and we'll see what the Yankees give us this weekend. Christian, anything else you got?
Give us. They're gonna give us something good. I know I said walk off, but big moment, like a Dominguez type double. One of those moments where it's like one of those moments you put in a hype video.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everyone, thank you for spending your afternoon